Twitter is definitely a deep state actor, and now we have detailed evidence, and it's been going on right up to and through Musk's takeover. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Declaration of Truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. The latest installment of the Twitter Files gives details on something earlier installments only hinted at. First, remember The Intercept reported, I say gloated, that Twitter, like Facebook, behaved as a state actor. Twitter Files release number 3 confirmed this, but even then gave only a bare hint. Yesterday, Matt Taibbi revealed an extensive body of correspondence between Twitter and the FBI. At least one other commentator suggests that this correspondence gives the most comprehensive and comprehensible picture yet of the deep state, its inner workings, and the unsavory influence on the body politic. Before I dive into this, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. Be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there, especially this t-shirt that I have chosen for today, which quotes Aldous Huxley as saying, "Facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored." Here's one set of facts I will not ignore. One more thing. If you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also click the bell icon to get a notice every time I come out with a new one. In fact, do you see that new icon, the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the super thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do so long as it's legal tender. Matt Taibbi began to reveal the extent of cooperation between Twitter and the Federal Bureau of Investigation promptly at 1:00 p.m. Pacific time. I've left links in the description to 23 tweets from him. From them you get the entire thread, which is 45 tweets long. And I will now read to you the text of those tweets, though every now and again I might throw in a capsule description of any embedded images. His titles his thread, The Twitter Files, Part 6, Twitter, the FBI subsidiary. Herewith his essay. The Twitter Files are revealing more every day about how the government collects, analyzes, and flags your social media content. Twitter's contact with the FBI was constant and pervasive, as if it were a subsidiary. Between January 2020 and November 2022, there were over 150 emails between the FBI and former Twitter Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Some are mundane, like San Francisco agent Elvis Chen wishing Roth a Happy New Year, along with a reminder to attend our quarterly call next week. Others are requests for information into Twitter users related to active investigations, but a surprisingly high number are requests by the FBI for Twitter to take action on election misinformation, even involving joke tweets from low follower accounts. The FBI's Social Media Focus Task Force, known as FITF, that stands for Foreign Influence Task Force, created in the wake of the 2016 election, swelled to 80 agents and corresponded with Twitter to identify alleged foreign influence and election tampering of all kinds. Federal intelligence and law enforcement reach into Twitter included the Department of Homeland Security, which partnered with security contractors and think tanks to pressure Twitter to moderate content. It's no secret the government analyzes bulk data for all sorts of purposes, everything from tracking terror suspects to making economic forecasts. The Twitter Files shows something new. Agencies like the FBI and DHS regularly sending social media content to Twitter through multiple entry points pre-flagged for moderation. What stands out is the sheer quantity of reports from the government. Some are aggregated from public hotlines. Now here he embeds an image of a tweet from the FBI's office in El Paso, Texas, complete with a snitch line and email. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Stasi and Vopo type stuff from East Germany during the Cold War. Moving on. An unanswered question. Do agencies like FBI and DHS do in-house flagging work themselves, or do they farm it out? You have to prove to me that inside the government you can do any kind of massive data or AI search, says one former intelligence officer. Emphasis mine, and I also botherize, just so you know. Hello, Twitter contacts. The master canine quality of the FBI's relationship to Twitter comes through in a November 2022 email in which FBI San Francisco is notifying you it wants action on 4 accounts. And in the embedded screen cap, it lists them. Twitter personnel in that case went on to look for reasons to suspend all 4 accounts, including an account literally @FromMA, whose tweets are almost all jokes. And they give some samples, including his civic misinformation of November 8th. Now here the account, with the expanded name, Clowns to the left of me, Jokers to the right, embeds 3 images. One is a picture of an intermodal freight container inside a small wooden boat. The caption, proposed container ship if there's a worldwide recession. The most serious thing he said, get out and vote November 9th, a day late. And yes, this is recent, from last month. Just to show the FBI can be hypersensitive, hyper-intrusive in both directions, they also asked Twitter to review a blue-leaning account for a different joke. Except here it was even more obvious that Claire Foster, PhD, who kids a lot, was kidding. And hey, she has got to have been kidding. Get a load of these screen caps. I'm a ballot counter in my state. If you're not wearing a mask, I'm not counting your vote. I'm an officer of election. Let me tell you something. That would be flatly illegal if it happened. And for every negative comment on this post, I'm adding another vote for the Democrats. Now, you know that's a joke. But the FBI took it seriously as a violation of the civic integrity policy. Let's move on. Anyone who cannot discern obvious satire from reality has no place making decisions for others or working for the federal government, says Claire Foster when told about the flagging. Of the 6 accounts mentioned in the previous 2 emails, all but one, Claire Foster, PhD, and Clowns to the left of me, Jokers to the right, were suspended. In an internal email from November 5th, 2022, the FBI's National Election Command Post, which compiles and sends on complaints, sent the San Francisco field office a long list of accounts that may warrant additional action. And here he embeds a list. Agent Elvis Chan passed the list on to his Twitter folks. Twitter then replied with its list of actions taken. Note the mercy shown to actor Billy Baldwin. Many of these accounts were satirical in nature. Nearly all, with the exceptions of Baldwin and SB Network, were relatively low engagement, and some were suspended, most with a generic thanks Twitter letter. When told of the FBI flagging, an account holder called Lexitola replied, my thoughts initially include 1, seems like prima facie First Amendment violation. 2, holy cow, me, an account with the reach of an amoeba. And 3, what else are they looking at? And I can't believe the FBI is policing jokes on Twitter. That's crazy, said Tiberius 444. Well, you had better believe it. I'm going to stop right here because I know you need a break before the next part. While we wait, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. The sponsor is oursilverlines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You are not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Whether you just want to collect rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities this company provides, either way, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit OurSilverLines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. And now we get to something you have got to follow the thread to believe. Quote, in a letter to former Deputy General Counsel and former top FBI lawyer Jim Baker on September 16, 2022, legal exec Stacia Cardile outlines results from her soon-to-be weekly meeting with DHS, DOJ, FBI, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The Twitter exec writes that she explicitly asked if there were impediments to the sharing of classified information with industry. The answer? FBI was adamant no impediments to sharing exists. No impediments? That was so incredible that one user tried to deny it. Moving on. This passage underscores the unique one big happy family vibe between Twitter and the FBI. With what other firm would the FBI blithely agree to no impediments to classified information? And at the bottom of that letter, Ms. Cardile lists a series of escalations apparently raised at the meeting which were already handled. Another internal letter from January 2021 shows Twitter execs processing an FBI list of possible violative content tweets. Here too, most tweets contain the same get out there and vote Wednesday trope and had low engagement. This is what the FBI spends its time on. In a March 2021 email, an FBI liaison thanks a senior Twitter exec for the chance to speak to you and the team, then delivers a packet of products. The executive circulates the products, which are really DHS bulletins stressing the need for greater collaboration between law enforcement and private sector partners. The ubiquity of the 2016 Russian interference story as stated pretext for building out the censorship machine cannot be overstated. It is analogous to how 9/11 inspired the expansion of the security state. While the DHS in its products pans permissive social media for offering operational advantages to Russians, it also explains that the domestic violent extremist threat requires addressing information gaps. The FBI, in one case, sent over so many possible violative content reports, Twitter personnel congratulated each other in Slack for the monumental undertaking of reviewing them. There were multiple points of entry into Twitter for government-flagged reports. A letter from Agent Chan to Roth references Teleporter, a platform through which Twitter could receive reports from the FBI. Reports also came from different agencies. Here, in one case, an employee recommends bouncing content based on evidence from DHS, etc. State governments also flag content. Twitter, for instance, received reports via the Partner Support Portal, an outlet created by the Center for Internet Security, a partner organization to the DHS. Why was no action taken? In this memo, Twitter execs receiving an alert from California officials by way of our Partner Support Portal debate whether to act on a Trump tweet. And another case of video was reported by the Election Integrity Project, or EIP, at Stanford, apparently on the strength of information from the Center for Internet Security, or CIS. If that's confusing, it's because the CIS is a DHS contractor, describes itself as partners with the Cyber and Internet Security Agency, or CISA, at the DHS. And here Matt embeds an image of a reporting guide of some kind. The EIP is one of a series of government-affiliated think tanks that mass review content, a list that also includes the Atlantic Council's Digital Forensics Research Laboratory and the University of Washington's Center for Informed Policy. The takeaway? What most people think of as the deep state is really a tangled collaboration of state agencies, private contractors, and sometimes state-funded NGOs, or non-government organizations. The lines become so blurred as to be meaningless. Twitter Files researchers are moving into a variety of new areas now. Watch Barry Weiss, Mike Schellenberger, and this space for more soon. Unquote, Matt Taibbi. J.D. Rucker observes correctly that those of us who suspected that a deep state existed and that it saw presidents come and go and did what it wanted were correct in our suspicions. We also have observed that a private company breaks the First Amendment, and I quote, "If the government coerces or induces it to take action the government itself would not be permitted to do, such as censor expression of a lawful viewpoint." Unquote, Clarence Thomas from Biden versus Knight, First Amendment Institute at Columbia University, 141 SCT 1220, 1226, 2021. Thomas J. concurring. This is what the Attorneys General of Missouri and Louisiana, plus 5 other plaintiffs, now allege against the U.S. government. The Twitter executives these tweets name are lucky they aren't named defendants in Missouri versus Biden, but they will almost certainly be material witnesses in that case. Reaction on Twitter itself varies from wow to there you see to ho-hum. One person asked a very pertinent question: whether or not any of the Twitter people seeking access to classified information had been subjected to the requisite background checks. I have a link in the description of that person's tweet asking that question. Another user identified the central problem in all this. The FBI was directly telling Twitter moderators what to do. Follow the link I've left in the description. You'll get an eyeful. Quote, "There's a difference between the FBI searching people's profiles for info and directly telling the social media company to flag and suspend accounts based on content. The only info that should be shared between the two is from Twitter to the FBI after they asked for help." Close quote. At least one user said blithely, the FBI was controlled by Trump, but the earlier Twitter files and the Intercept piece clearly show that the FBI was a rogue agency determined to remove a sitting president from office by hook or by crook, and it had help from many other agencies. This behavior is inexcusable, and its revelation should scare anyone. But, as Daniel Goldhagen observed back in 1996, even Hitler had willing executioners. Link in the description of the article, 23 tweets from the thread, to the tweet asking whether anyone at Twitter was vetted before receiving classified information, to the tweet protesting that here we have the FBI telling Twitter what to do, to my Declaration of Truth account, and to conservative news and views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and oursilverlines.com, as I also mentioned. You know already about how to like a video, turn on notifications, and leave a tip. On the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link to my channel, a link to my Twitter Files playlist, to the Quarterings recorded stream detailing Twitter File 6 in real time, and to my earlier video talking about Twitter and Facebook being state actors. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.